Time to go live. It is Friday. It is May 2nd. It's my brother's birthday. He's 60. He's 55 years old. Put some ages on him. Put some years on him. He's 55 years old today. If I do my math right, I think that's right. Happy birthday to my brother. Hey, my name is Keith, and welcome to the stream. I am and have been a professional developer for over 30 years. And I broadcast Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time from Austin, Texas. And I stream on YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And I created this stream as a place to come hang out while you're getting job applications out. That is very, very tight little niche. Not a whole lot of people would flock to that stream, but that's what I decided to do. It's my little experiment this year. I've been doing it since the first of the year, so good solid 4 months under my belt of week daily streams. And that's what we're here for. So in this stream, we do a couple of things every day, and occasionally a couple of other things. We check out the job numbers to see what the trends are in the job postings that are out there, and then we look at news that may affect our industry, the tech industry, and the wider business industry, because just about every business is a tech business on some level these days. You're hard pressed to find too many industries that don't have programmers in it these days. And then we also just answer questions on the chat. So if you have any questions you'd like to throw out there based either on the news or how the job search is going, what the industry is like, what things are pushing around these job numbers, I'm happy to talk about any and all of that. And also, I've had a variety of different kind of programming jobs over the years, so I have some experience to speak from. So let's get on with it. Let's see how it goes. It's Friday. First, let's look at those job search numbers. So we got 3 graphs here: the last 7 days, the last 6 months, and the last year. And we can see that numbers have been flat in the last week, although that is following a 10-day dip or so. So we're starting to bounce a little bit back from that. There's not been any huge changes that might occur that would turn that around per se. There's not been a lot of great news in the world of business and government that would make companies feel a little more comfortable hiring. But at a certain point, you just kind of have to hit the bottom, I think. Hopefully, we've hit the bottom. And at a minimum, these are the job postings that companies need to keep their doors open. We shall see. If we look at those numbers through a more granular lens, all of the JavaScript developers, web developer jobs posted been really flat this year, and then it's taken a dip the last couple of weeks. God. It's like starting on, what day is that? The 17th. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since it's been dropping. And then we look at remote jobs, which is this red line here. You can see that it's been, again, very flat. The remote hasn't been hit as hard as the in-person jobs, but there's definitely a trend line down there. If we look at experience level for all over the in-person jobs, we have mid-level developers posting job postings. Uh, the yellow line is senior level, and the entry level is in blue here. Senior level been pretty consistent, pretty flat. Um, some more variability here in the mid-level roles. If we look at remote work, we'll see the same thing. Entry level and senior level roles have been fairly consistent throughout the year so far, and but there has been a downward trend in the mid-level developer remote work job postings. So allergies have been bad this week. So let's look at the news. I spend too much time on LinkedIn. That's where our industry talks to each other. That's where recruiters hang out. I'm not personally currently in the job market, but my day job is managing a coding school, and a number of our students are in the job market, so I like to keep my finger on the pulse. U.S. hiring held up in April. The economy added more jobs than expected in April, in what some economists say makes it less likely the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates next week when it meets. In the first report since tariffs took effect, non-farm payrolls rose 177,000, down from a revised 185,000 in March. The Labor Department said Friday the unemployment rate has unchanged at 4.2%. The looming impact of tariffs, along with the massive federal layoffs and a rise in continuing jobless claims, may weigh in on future hiring. So, that's not what we're seeing in the tech sector in the numbers that we just looked at. We definitely see that hiring went down. These might be trailing numbers, and we'll see an adjustment to that next week, or just might mean that other sectors might have been stronger than the tech sector. But it's a data point we can pay attention to. Amazon growing, bracing for tariffs. Amazon offered a solid first quarter report this week, with revenue and earnings that both exceeded analyst estimates. Yet the company's conservative guidance for next quarter rattled some investors amid looming concern about tariff vulnerabilities, denting the company's share price after hours trading. In all, Amazon brought $155 billion in revenue, up 9% year over year, with growth in its closely watched advertising and web services sector, though the latter was slightly below estimates. And of course, the advertising and web services are super high margin, so it's not just revenue that they're bringing in, but profits are much higher when they come in from there, as opposed to selling and shipping trinkets, which have a lot lower margin. So during the investor call, and Jesse said that the average price of items on Amazon had not gone up yet appreciably as a result of tariffs. Citing Amazon's performance during the COVID pandemic, Jesse noted the company has previously emerged from uncertain eras with more relative market segment share than we started. Jassy noted the company has previously emerged from uncertain eras with more relative market share than we started. Uncertain eras. So in downturns of the economy like 2008, they're saying that everybody had a bumpy ride, but on the backside of it, they were stronger. Which is interesting, in part probably just because in downturns in the economy, companies go out of business. And if you normally shop at some company and it goes out of business, you know, you look for other more stable opportunities. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what that means. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Consumer jitters hit the big U.S. brands. Mid and lower income consumers have been tightening their belts and starting to show up in quarterly earnings of some of America's most iconic brands: McDonald's, Hershey, Chipotle, Harley Davidson, all reported seeing spending slowdowns in recent weeks. That is quite the collection. One of these things is not like the other. McDonald's, okay, yeah, they've got that value meal for $1. If somebody's tightening their belt and can't afford $1, that's probably a interesting sign that we should probably pay attention to. Hershey bars, they're about $1. Chipotle, they're a little more than $1, but fast food still. Harley Davidson, I'm tightening my belt. Should I buy a Harley Davidson this week? Maybe we'll buy the Harley Davidson, but we'll avoid McDonald's. That does not make sense. They also reported seeing spending slowdowns in recent weeks. I have not looked at a Harley Davidson in a long time, but the last time I looked at a Harley Davidson, that was a ridiculously expensive motorcycle. Like they charge a premium for their motorcycle. And, the joke a decade ago was like the only people who can afford Harley Davidsons are people that you don't want to see on Harley Davidsons. Bunch of dentists and retired old white dudes. That's hilarious. McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski, noting that low and middle income consumers are being particularly weighed down by recession worries. Even Apple and General Motors, which both saw pre-tariff sales spikes, have warned of turbulence to come. Yeah, I mean, it's just uncertainty across the board. And the uncertainty that's in the business market gets reported on over and over and over again. And people, even if they don't follow the news that closely, can't help avoiding that information and that uncertainty, especially if there's layoffs in your company. Everybody's getting a little more nervous. Google injecting ads into chatbots. I suppose it was inevitable. I didn't have it on my bingo card. But when you have 4 or 5 competitors who are not doing ads and one who decides to put ads in their product, that doesn't seem like a way to capture a lot of audience. Google has been quietly folding ads into its chatbot conversations to bolster advertising growth and compete with rivals such as ChatGPT, according to Bloomberg, citing anonymous sources. The tech giant has reportedly partnered with multiple AI startups, including iAsk and Liner, I've not heard of either of those, to drive new monetization by sliding targeted ads in its chatbot AI-generated answers. Sundar Chai recently highlighted that Google's generative AI search AI overviews had $1.5 billion in monthly users. Not dollars, 1.5 billion monthly users despite antitrust challenges to its search and advertising dominance. They didn't have any examples there. I wonder what those look like. Do they have an example here? What does that look like? Slipping, ask for, hey, what's the temperature in Thailand right now, do they shove an ad for cheap flights to Thailand in there? If I'm asking for, you know, a mathematical calculation for something, what ads are they putting in there? That's an interesting one. I have not seen it. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the Google AI chats. I'm in ChatGPT and Claude just about every day. I'm in ChatGPT basically every day. I'm in Claude 3-4 times a week. But I don't know. I'm guessing that's probably their way of saying, like, hey, if you want the free chat, it's coming with ads, and if you want, no ads, you got to pay the $20 a month. That seems like the most likely option. And again, it seems inevitable. If we can shove an ad in front of some eyeballs, businesses are going to do that, especially businesses who make a considerable amount of their money off of advertising. And Google is one of those. ChatGPT is not one of those currently. Meta is one of those. Instacart orders jumped 14% this past quarter, outpacing industry expectations by $81 million. The grocery delivery giant expanded its grocery software investment and relaxed its minimum basket spend for subscribers for free delivery, which led to a bump in midweek shops. However, this shift has led to a 4% drop in the average order amount. Regardless, the rosy results confirm the staying power of grocery delivery services. Post-pandemic, I have not once used a grocery delivery service. In part because I work out of my house. I'm in my little home office here, and I have since the pandemic. And going to the grocery store, which I have to do when I'm done with this stream today, going to the grocery store is one of the times I get out of the house. It's like, it's just one of those opportunities for me to bump into actual live human beings. For a person who works in the house and works nights as much as anything, I don't have opportunities to get out to the meetups that I would like. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I bump into those people all the time. Looks like it's hard to go down an aisle at my local HEB grocery store without bumping into one of their like pickers who are picking for the delivery, either delivery or pickup aisles. They're kind of indoor in-house shoppers. And I also, if the thing about ordering online is you don't have the same discovery of new products. When I'm wandering up and down the halls, my eyes are always looking for new products. It's just kind of the way my brain works. And if there's something out of place, if I'm walking down an aisle that I've walked down, 4 times this month, and there's a thing that's different, like, oh, I hadn't seen that package before. What is that? Let me check that out. More times than not, I'm putting that in my basket. I'm just that guy. So what does that do for new products? People are just shipping on, ordering the exact same things online every time, and they've got their sort of standard order. That's interesting. Harvard University will lose its coveted status as tax-exempt institution, President Trump announced on Friday. Yeah, good luck with that. Without it, the Ivy League school based in Cambridge, Mass. would be required to pay levies on its revenue. Harvard has been a flashpoint in ongoing debate over differences with the Trump administration. The path forward remains unclear, but Bloomberg noted as the federal tax code prevents presidents from interfering with decisions made by the IRS. Yeah, he can say that all he wants. Saying it and having it done is two different things. That's just ridiculous. we can all agree there are some issues with Harvard that we probably don't appreciate or agree with, but there are processes in place, and he can't just unilaterally go no taxes in for you. It will be an ongoing series of court cases. We'll see. Career pessimism is growing. LinkedIn's latest workforce confidence survey shows that U.S. workers of all ages are losing confidence in their ability to find or hold jobs these days, but Gen Z is the most pessimistic. Job confidence for Gen Z is now at plus 24 on a minus 100 to plus 100 scale, down 7 points year over year. Gen Z workers have consistently scored lower than average, but that gap has been widening since 2023. Average job confidence dropped 42 points. Oh, from 40 plus 42 to plus 40 this spring amid fears of an economic downturn. Yeah, but all of this stuff, we talk about this all the time. It's all about mindset. There are jobs that are being posted every day, and the people who are consistent and focused and working to communicate that they're going to provide excess value are going to be ones that are more successful. Trump orders end federal funding for NPR and PBS. He is just making a lot of noise. Conclave is about to be underway. What's going on in the world of technology? GTA 6 delayed. For all of you who are hoping to get it this year, nope, not going to happen this year. How many years has it been? I was never a GTA guy. I never played any of the games, not once. Definitely not my thing. But man, everybody thought it was coming out this year. And, we still got 7 months. They can't get it done in 7 months. This is why AAA games are not long for this world. And when they drop it, what will the price be? Will the price be set at $100 for the game? Those prices for AAA games keep going up. Despelote. What is that? It's a small game about how big soccer can be. Despelote. See? Billions of iPhone users at risk of dangerous malware attack. Interesting. Borderlands 4. Let's see what's going on in the world of AI. New ways to interact with information in AI mode. Google AI mode gets a one-tap search. Smooth iOS glow. You can now use Google's ChatGPT competitor AI mode. They're just late to the party, Google. Habits have been formed. Again, I started with ChatGPT, and for just normal AI interactions, that's my tool of choice. I built that habit. They've got a good enough, not great, but good enough interface. Claude, there are definitely some things I like about it. I got my MCP servers all connected, and when I need something more complex like that, I'll lean on Claude, but I don't go to Claude for my basic searches. How about you? What are your favorite AI chat app apps. Which ones do you use? Mark Zuckerberg just declared war on the entire advertising industry. Not familiar. I haven't read that article. What's that all about? Nvidia stock rises. It just got this Amazon AI boost. Climate crisis threatens supply chains. Manufacturers hope AI can help. Yeah, the timing of this breakup stuff that's going on is really bad for Google. Meta launches new standalone AI app rivaling ChatGPT. Rivaling? Yep. Will AI be the hero or the villain of gaming? Yeah, it's joined the game. How artificial intelligence is changing the video game industry. AI agents playing video games will transform future robots. I've been thinking about this lately. Um, I'm working on a game for my first Steam release, and it's a straight basic puzzle game. It's not very complex. It's not multiplayer. It's not 3D. But there's been this um, talk within the indie game world that you shouldn't make a MMO. You shouldn't make a multiplayer game, because even if you have a good launch and a bunch of people buy your game, that number of like daily active players is going to drop off pretty precipitously, unless it's that one in a million game that just connects with everybody and just grows and grows, right? So the odds of you being successful in that space are pretty limited because if it's a game that's supposed to benefit from multiplayers and you don't have any players, then there's no reason, even if somebody wants to play it, that they're going to spend a whole lot of time on it. But AI is going to change that, right? You'll be able to create artificial players that can be, reasonable facsimiles of human players, which would include things like chat and, the quality of their play. So that, some could be advanced players, most of which would be kind of mid-level players in your game, and some just really dumb players that are making super basic mistakes and stuff. You could engineer a system that would do that. And that could be done by a small team. That doesn't have to be done with the big budgets. Self-driving cars tap into AI-powered social network to talk to each other while on the road. We've been talking about this for 20 years, 10 years for sure. That network of all the cars being able to communicate with each other to kind of talk about where they are and where they're heading to help be the most efficient as they can be. There's been a lot of talk about an open standard for that. It'd be interesting at some point when that kicks in. Okay, we're down at the end of it. Let's talk about tomorrow. Let's talk about Sunday. I'm not going to be here. I will be here, but I won't be streaming. I get up every Saturday morning, every Sunday morning, and I check the job numbers and I put them in my little chart, my graph. And guess what? On Saturday, I see new jobs posted. But if you decide to take the weekend off, if you think, I'll just, hang out, it's exhausting, I'm kind of frustrated, I need to take the weekend for myself. And then I'll get back at it Monday, and I'll get out twice as many job applications on Monday. Is that bouncing around your head right now? Don't do that. Do not do that. You want to go where the blue ocean is. You want to go where there are less crowds. And you get job applications out on a Sunday, there are less people getting job applications out on Sunday. What does that mean? Any job that's posted on a Saturday or a Sunday, and you get your job application in for it, you're gonna be at the top of the stack. That's where we want to be. We want to be at the top of the stack. So you're gonna get up, you're gonna hustle, you're gonna be consistent, you're gonna not give up until you get that job. Right? It's that dedication, it's that consistency, it's that focus. Those are the people getting the jobs. If you have been out of work for 3 months, for 5 months, yes, it's tough. This is a tough job market. No way to sugarcoat it. But you know that you could be doing a little bit more. And if you're taking the weekends off, that's a good place to start. That's one of the little bit more things you can do. It's not going to take a whole lot. It's going to give you a better opportunity to get in front of people, get your documents reviewed by somebody. Because again, if you wait until Monday and you end up the 50th application on the stack, chances are they're going to find a handful of good recruit possibilities before they even get to your stuff, right? Being at the bottom of the stack of job applications means you won't even get looked at. And that's as bad as not doing anything at all, right? So you're gonna get up tomorrow. You're gonna get a caffeinated beverage. Wake up like I do. I've got an 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow morning with a friend to talk about some software. I'm gonna get up bright and early before the rest of my family is. They're all gonna be sleeping in because they're lazy bums. And I'm up hustling 8 a.m. You're gonna be doing it too. Get up, get that caffeinated beverage, and attack those job applications. Get them out. Then you can face the rest of the day knowing that you checked an important box, right? This is what we got to do. This is what we got to do, right? So I will be back on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you should have a great weekend. I will see you